came up in my mind about why he had a backpack. What were the contents of it? What were his
Can y'all
intentions?
not see the crowbar? Like,
and
damn.
what would he have done had one of us gone in there? These questions bothered me for a good week when James saw a chilling news report. Apparently, the same tactic had happened at another restaurant. Only this time, it actually worked. The same man had tried the approach and managed to lure a woman standing by the men's restroom. He was able to pull her in and do things I won't mention until a few people helped break up the situation. The news showing the man's face on TV made James almost spit out his water as he saw this. James ends up calling the police to put in our tip and what had happened. Police in my city don't mess around, so whenever something bad happened, they were ready to stop it. Eventually, Samantha had remembered seeing the man at a pub she was at. He didn't do anything, but described him as being drunk and annoyed at the bartender. Needless to say, this news went around like wildfire around my city and even my school. What had once been this nice area with barely any crime, only to have something disturbing happen. For those of you wondering, yes, he was thrown in prison. I ended up staying away from that McDonald's for a good while until the paranoia faded. It wasn't until a year later where I learned a truth I didn't know. James and Samantha had moved away, and it was actually Emily who had told me this. During dinner one night with her, I had asked her if she had remembered about the man from McDonald's many years ago. Her eyes went wide, and she said she was going to tell me something she never told me. Turns out, the man had ended his life in prison not too long ago. He couldn't live with the pain anymore and just decided to end it. I was shocked when I learned this and really couldn't believe it. However, it was nice to know that he couldn't hurt any more people while knowing our city was much safer. Anyway, that's my story, and I hope you can all learn from this and help prevent it. If you see or feel something is off, you need to tell someone. There are truly some messed up people in this world.
What the hell?
Yo, what are you doing?
Exhibit?
What do you think? I'm a paperclip?
When I was about 10 years old, I lived in the city, not too far from a McDonald's. I remember
That's
one day
crazy.
I convinced my mom to let me go there alone to get some food. She was busy with something and gave me a few dollars and told me to come back
Y'all
quickly.
notice how every
I was excited. It made me feel like a grown-up to go out.
Y'all notice how every time the story changes, right? Every time the story changes, the McDonald's like building design improves by like a year or two, which means that these stores are only a year or two off or like after each one happened. This shit's crazy.
Out on my own. I had done it several times before, and it wasn't a daily thing, but here and there I would. So I left, and I made my way to the McDonald's. It took me about 10 minutes to walk there.
Chubby ass
After
kid,
leaving our
right?
house, I only had to walk to the end of the street,
Y'all know
then
who he
cross
look
a
like
busy
on the
one.
low?
Then I went down a ways before the McDonald's was on the right side. As I approached the restaurant, a sudden urge to use the bathroom hit me. When I got inside, I saw that the place wasn't very busy, and I walked over to the bathrooms to use it before ordering. When I got inside the bathroom, nobody else was in
Yo.
there. I went into a
This
stall,
is
but only about a
crazy,
minute
dude.
later, I heard the bathroom door open and close. This was followed by footsteps, but the footsteps didn't go in far. They seemed to stop just inside the door, and I thought this was kind of weird. I kept expecting them to walk further in, but they didn't.
I'm going to
After about a
hell,
minute,
bro.
I ducked down and looked underneath the bathroom stall that I was in. I saw black shoes and the bottom of some black pants. They were standing right in front of the door. I wanted to leave, but I would have to walk past the person, so I decided to wait. As I sat in the bathroom stall, I couldn't believe how or why this person was standing there for so long. I decided that I was going to stay in the bathroom stall until they left. Eventually, after probably 10 more minutes, I heard the door open and the person walk out. I felt much better. The whole thing seemed really strange to me. Finally, I was able to leave the bathroom stall, and after I walked out of the bathroom, I looked around the
Alright,
restaurant.
chat, hold on.
Not long after leaving the restrooms, as I was making my way over to order, I saw one man who was sitting in the corner of the restaurant. I noticed his black shoes and pants, and I realized this was more than likely the same guy. I hurried up and went to the counter to order, and I did not see the man as I did. After ordering, it didn't take long at all for me to get my food, and I then left the
You look like a
restaurant to walk
bum.
home. I began making my way back
Look at
along the
this.
sidewalk,
Oh.
but before making it more than 2 minutes, I had a bad feeling. I looked back, and sure enough, the same guy was trailing me. He was a little ways back and not right up on me,
Go back
but
to
it
the
still made me
McDonald's,
really
damn.
nervous. Could he be following me? This was the same man who had just been standing inside the bathroom door for so long. I kept looking back every so often, and the man was always behind me. When I started walking faster intentionally, the guy definitely did the same thing. I was now getting really worried. What if this guy followed me all the way back to my house? And what if he ran up behind me and tried to grab me or something before I could get home? The busy street to wait at the crosswalk before crossing, I had to stop. The man would probably catch up to me before I would make it across the street. That's when I decided to just go for it. I started sprinting across the road, with many cars still on it. I felt confident that I could make it
that was
and
me.
would
I
not
would've
be hit
fucked
by a
that
car, but nevertheless, multiple cars honked at me as I ran. But luckily, I did make it across safely. I looked back and saw the man starting to run out into the street as well, but a car quickly approached and honked at him. He backed up and stayed on the other side. I used this opportunity to run up into my street and out of sight of the man. I ran the whole rest of the way home and made it back a short time later. After making it home, I told my mom all about the experience. And as a result, I was not allowed to go anywhere on my own for a while. But I didn't mind a bit. I was worried that the man would have somehow found out where we lived, and I worried about that for weeks. But luckily, I don't believe he did, because I never saw him again after that.
That shit's crazy.
I used to work at a
Alright, boys, that's gonna be the end of this video. If you did like the video, make sure to like, comment, and drop a subscribe if you're not subscribing already. Like I said, 3 likes and I'll get you guys with the triple upload today. I love you guys so much, and I'm very grateful that we hit 100 subscribers today. But yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.